Paul Maskey MP, what's the purpose of today's gathering?
Well, Sinn Féin is launching 2 billboards today, one here at the former site of the old Andersontown barrack site and one of their offices in Connolly House in Andersontown. And that's to show that we are standing shoulder to shoulder with all those people who have been racially abused over recent weeks and months and years. In fact, West Belfast is showing leadership with regards to anti-racism, and we are saying to other areas and other communities that they should be doing likewise. We have invited a number of people from ethnic minority backgrounds here today to help us launch this billboard here at this particular site, and we have a number of people from our youth organisation right through the community representatives right throughout West Belfast, and that is about showing that solidarity with all those people. It's also about showing leadership, and it's about inviting people from ethnic minority backgrounds to say that West Belfast is a very welcome place for them. People from all around the world are welcome in West Belfast, and I think we as a community will show that, and will show that time and time again. But what we are opposed to, we are opposed to racists. Racists are not welcome within our society, they're not welcome in West Belfast, and I think that other political representatives from other parties should make that same statement and say to racists that they are not welcome, that everybody else is welcome who wants to play a positive role within our society. They're welcome, ones who are against that aren't.
For the importance of today?
Well, I think it's an example of leadership shown in the local area that racism transcends for all borders, you know, and it's within the community here in the west, it's in the east, it's in the north and the south, and we have to tackle it wherever we see it. And it's good to see kind of visual signs like this coming up, and the way in the last racist attack here in Slieve too, the way our local MP, Paul Maskey, and indeed Stephen Carr, who accompanied Ali down to the hospital when he was attacked. You know, that kind of response and people coming out, I think that's what's needed right across the board.
In terms of, you were talking about that sort of imagery, does that impact on young people in a positive way in your opinion?
Well, I think when they see the signs that racism is not tolerated, young people get a hard time, I think. You know, and there is a small percentage that there's really needs a lot of work done, but most of the kids are okay, and once they see that people go, we're not accepting that, that's racist talk, that's racist behaviour. You know, if you have a look at the travellers in West Belfast and how they're treated, I mean, that's one of the big things, and I hope Paul will mention that today. But the kids need to see that the travelling people should have the same rights as everybody else have. We need to have all the ethnic minorities are coming in. It's a great wealth to us here in the West, and we should be celebrating it.
Racism has no place in Northern Ireland, and we want the executive, the whole of the executive, to come out and condemn that as an incident that wasn't acceptable. I mean, very much it's kind of been building over the last few weeks with the various high-profile incidents that we've seen, and we think it's very important that there's strong political leadership to show that this kind of attitude is not welcome, and that all minorities, no matter what their ethnicity, their background, faith or no faith, are very much welcome in Northern Ireland.
In terms of Peter Robinson's leadership role in that, do you think that he's came up to the mark?
Well, I mean, we kind of, at NICEN, we very much don't take a partisan approach. We think it's up to the executive as a whole to show political leadership with that. I mean, we're waiting on the racial equality strategy to be published, and that is an initiative from the executive, from OFM DFM. So really, I think recent incidents show that more than ever this needs to be published.
Mar, why was it important to be here today?
I think it is important for me as a representative of the Muslim community to be here with you in this event, to say our message, clear message, that we all here against racism in the society. We have to stand firm for justice. We have to stand against racism, discrimination, bigotry. Any sort of injustice to any individual or any community is totally refused by all of us.
Do you get a sense that as these attacks continue, that more and more people are coming together to say no?
Exactly what I said, that in the last few weeks it may be understood that there is something bad took place in the society of Northern Ireland, but for me this something bad, it changed to be very, very positive message to all people here in Northern Ireland and to all people in the world, that Northern Ireland now are more united than ever before against racism.
And in terms of your own community, are people wary and fearful of attacks?
There are some concerns. But we look to the main, picture, or to the full picture. In the full picture, I think Muslim community came out of this with dignity and honor, because they are able to provide mild, positive response to this, and they are able to share and to contribute to the welfare of the society during these days.
It's very important to be here as young people in our respective local areas. We feel that we can use our own influence to try and combat the different levels of racism and indeed sectarianism at a very local level. We think that as young people, particularly as young Republican activists, it's part of our duty to try and combat these things. It's the plight of our communities. As Paul Maskey says today, it was once sectarianism, and although sectarianism is still a very, very serious and real issue for us, in recent times we have been very, very active in campaigning against all forms and levels of racism. It's completely wrong. I'm not afraid to say that.